Should.
But that doesn't matter because we are live right now. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Frankie here for the Bakersfield Gentleman, my brother Miguel, again here at Calebra's Lounge in Bakersfield, California. Notice that the mic is pointed towards you.
It's actually not. If you notice the pattern here, I have it to go to both of us.
I can't see it because you have it on your side, which leads me to believe that my side is probably you guys can't hear me because I know Miguel tries to silence my voice, the voice of the people, when it comes to this. So let me know in the comments, you guys, as soon as you guys get a chance, what you guys think of the audio. We again are using the new mic that Miguel bought. I think it was a good investment. Obviously, some other upgrades will come to the show as the money becomes more free. So, well, not free, but as it becomes available, I should say, available.
If anyone wants that free money, I will gladly.
Yes, absolutely. But let's get into that intro video, Mike, and let's get the show started.
All right, be back with you guys right after this.
I don't know if this is true, but every time I look back on the years, I feel like I wasted my youth. How did I get so cold? How do I wind up every single day going through this life all alone? When am I gonna change? Another day, another month, another year, and still I feel just the same. Oh, help me, I can't shake this feeling away. Help me, I feel like I'm going insane. Help me, I got nowhere to go, I'm afraid. Help me turn this around here today. There's no laughter these days. Far too seldom do I get the chance to even put a smile on my face.
There we are. How's everybody doing today? Let me get back to those comments. Make sure I'm getting everybody. Larry, say how you guys doing. Brian, I saw you on there. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope everyone's doing well today.
Yes, I hope you all are doing well. Also, man, if you guys missed yesterday's show, you guys missed out on one hell of a show. We've been doing these Wednesday shows throughout March for our March Cigar Madness, and it was a great turnout. Thank you to everybody that commented for your favorite cigar to win. We have a winner. We are going to talk more about that come Saturday night. But for now, you guys, I am smoking Illusion cigars. I never know how to say the name. Garagiste. Sure, why not?
Yes.
Why not? And I'm actually pairing that today with a peanut butter milk stout nitro from Belching Beaver Brewery.
That is a mouthful of names right there and a good combo, I would assume.
Now,
Let's see how it does.
I know it's the wrong style of glass for this beer. I apologize. I did not have the proper glass, and as you can see, it doesn't even fill it all the way up. But for those of you guys that don't know about the nitro style of beers, or those that are interested in nitro beers, I like them because of the silky smooth texture that you get from it. It is made with nitro instead of the CO2. So when it is carbonated, you actually get more uniform bubbles, leaving that silky feeling on your palate. So I've always been a really big fan of nitro beers. I like them. I think they taste great. I think this is a more fun experience when you're drinking it. And I can't wait to try some more nitro beers as we go along.
Fair. That's fair points there. I'm not a big fan. I don't like the texture. I think it's different to me. It just feels weird. I just like carbonation a lot. It doesn't feel carbonated to me. It's not. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, Timothy, how you doing? I haven't wanted to try that. Definitely get a hold of it though. That's the Sam Adams nitro too, right?
They do, which I am also a really big fan of. But Tim, we actually have I think we have a couple more in the fridge. So next time you're available, you want to come down to the club, we'll save one for you. I bought a bunch for an event a while back, but we didn't finish them all. So these have been in the fridge for a little while now.
That's a good thing. Yeah, if an event we have over here at Calebra's decides to not finish the drinks or there's food left over, it goes in the fridge usually. So the next couple of days, there's some good stuff in there, or for a little while afterwards. Like if there's a bottle bought, we usually don't finish the bottles.
Right.
So there's different whiskeys, tequilas,
Tequilas.
whatever you might have in there. Rum. A lot of guys are rum fans here. I appreciate that.
Wow. And I
Margaritas.
don't know what happened, but this cigar just cracked something fierce on me.
Let's see that. Oh my goodness.
I don't know what happened there.
Well, I'm actually having the Rose of Sharon in this nice box press right here. It's very, very nice. So I can get the lighting to be a little better. Not really. Of course it's not.
Garagist is what Brian is saying how it is pronounced. Fantastic. Well, either way, you guys know I'm a fan of Illusion cigars. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it pairs well with this beer. Let's find out.
But yeah, about to find out. I'm going to go ahead and light up as well. I am not pairing anything fancy. It is a Coke Zero. It's a raised roof kind of day. For a very specific reason that Samuel brought up in the comments. It's April 1st. It's time to prank some people. I have got no pranks planned out. But the day's still young. There's still time to prank. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it will happen.
There is still time. I also saw that in the comments. Samuel says he rejoined Luxury Cigar Club, which is fantastic. If you guys want to join Luxury Cigar Club, you guys can use our code BKGenser at the bottom for free shipping on your first box. They do a fantastic job of curating stuff. I highly recommend getting into at least that core line from them. You get 3 cigars for I think around $30, and they are a fantastic deal, especially for us in California, or if you're in a high tax state for tobacco. These cigar clubs are fantastic, whether you go with Luxury, whether you go with Pravada, whether you go with Smoke Inn, Stogie Bird, My Monthly Cigar Club. There's got to be. I know there's more. I think Corona Cigar has one. Yeah, Corona Cigar has one because that's who sponsors Kevin's show.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch of them, you guys. We just happen to really like Luxury Cigar Club. I talked to Chris a month before they actually did their first box a couple Februarys ago, and I saw them on Facebook or on Instagram rather. Messaged him, asked him some questions, told him who I was and what I did. He called me right away. And we started talking, fell in love with the idea, and we've been with them ever since. So past 2 years now, we've been doing really well with them. We try to support them as much as we can, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, they hand out some absolutely fantastic cigars.
They do a lot for the community and bring a lot to the table. They also have their what's what I'm looking for? Their exclusive sticks that they get for retailers.
Yes.
That helps out those. The Viva La Vida Lancero is absolutely phenomenal.
That was so good.
Very nice. And I can't wait for more to come in, actually. Looking forward to that.
And where Abe has been doing the Connoisseur Club, where I think that was a really good idea. We did it for the first month. It was a little different of a program than I thought, but I do like the way that they get together and do the videos. So everybody kind of get together and say what they think it is. Luxury Cigar Club has done something a little bit different. And I got to say, I am a big fan of this. We just got this in the mail today. We got 2 boxes of each, one for Miguel, one for myself. And this is Luxury Cigar Club exclusive Cigar University. Basically what this is doing, this is the I'll do the first one, which is, I believe, the binder. Yes, the binder was the first one they sent out. And what it says here is, welcome to the first class of Luxury Cigar Club University. Binder 101 is a journey through the cigar manufacturing process, highlighting an overlooked component of cigar composition, the binder leaf. Through this class, you will sample 5 cigars with identical wrapper and filler leaves that feature 5 unique binders, smoked back-to-back or simultaneously for the best experience. So they are giving you 5 cigars in here with Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan Esteli, Jalapa, and Condega fillers. But the binders you're getting in these are Jalapa, Condega, Esteli, Ometepe, and the Dominican binder. So 5 identical cigars when it comes to filler and wrapper, but you're getting 5 different binders. So you actually get to taste that flavor change from the different binders. You can smoke them all at the same time and really try to get that flavor note difference. You can smoke them back to back. Or you can kind of take your time, smoke one a day, so you can really kind of feel those nuances out if that's the way you prefer to do it. Sean, how you doing? Paul, how you doing?
How's it going? Yeah, it sounds like homework, but it's the kind of homework I want to do. All right?
Yeah, I think it's a really smart idea because not only do you get to see those flavor changes, you actually kind of get to pick up on, let's say, the Jalapa binder tastes like this, and an Esteli binder tastes like that. So next time you smoke a cigar with that type of binder, that kind of leaf, you're more able to pick it up and pick it out because you know exactly what it's supposed to taste like. They did that for the first one. This is what the box looks like. So that is the binder. That was the first one they did. And I'm excited to go through those, give those a try, get on their Discord, and talk to other people about it.
Yeah. And now, from what I hear, so from what you said, it's all 4 regions plus the Dominican. So that is some very different flavors you're getting. And
Yes.
to show you those different, like people talk about the 4 regions of Esteli,
Mm-hmm.
especially Art Garcia does a great job of explaining that. But I think seeing it for yourself, or tasting it for yourself in this case, is the best way to get that. And I'm excited to try that out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The second one that they went out with and did is the Filler 101. So you're getting a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, and they didn't put it on the other one, but this one they actually put the size 5.5 by 54.
Okay.
And you're getting fillers. The first one is a Nicaraguan filler. The second is a Dominican filler. Third is a Mexican filler. Fourth is a Honduran filler. And fifth is a Brazilian filler. So you're getting fillers from completely different countries with the same wrapper and binder. This is another fantastic one. Obviously, I think the next one is going to be the wrapper. And again, this is just a great idea so that you get a taste what those fillers leaves taste like from that specific country. And that can actually help you out a lot. Much like the class that we did with Jeremy at Aganorsa, where he will give you a bundle of filler to smoke. You smoke that filler. You tell him, I like filler A, I like filler B. He says, okay, try this. Okay, I like this one. I don't like that one. He's like, okay, this is what that kind of composition makes up. Try this cigar from Aganorsa. That kind of little crash course smoking the wrappers or the binders and the fillers in just little bunches. Kind of like, it almost reminded me of, what's that Italian cigar?
Oh, the Toscano.
The Toscano. Almost
Yeah.
like that. It kind of looked like that, but without the wrapper on it. That's what it reminded me of.
Very rustic. Yeah.
Very rustic. And you smoke that, and, those leaves kind of are part of what an Aganorsa cigar is. So once you go through smoking all of those, you tell him what you liked, what you didn't like, and then that can actually point you out to the right Aganorsa cigar for you. That was a fun little class he did for us. It was just Miguel and I. He actually does that as part of his presentation when he takes Aganorsa around the upper Northwest, which is his territory. And since he was in town, he did that for us, and it was a lot of fun. So again, Jeremy, thank you for that. Didn't have to do it, but he did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was absolutely. I'm looking forward to this one. It's like you said, they have the Discord, so you can chat with other people and get their experience at the same time. And it would be nice to get everybody in the same room, but sometimes it's impossible to do so. We're all over the country. We're all over everywhere. I like seeing where you guys are at, and this is a way to do so at the same time. We're having our own Zoom classes now.
That's right.
Not just for the kids.
That's right.
But I am excited to get in. So they've already done the first one, which is the binder. Moving on to the fillers. So can we go ahead and open up the binders and take a look at it? Or
We can.
Do we have to wait for anything?
I don't think so.
So we are waiting on the fillers, though, right? Because that's the next one to happen.
Sure, why not?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Look at my
Hey, Derek, how you
trusting
doing?
cutting tool.
Always a good one. So yeah, I would like to see how these are presented in here as well. I think that's an important little factor.
So you open the box up, and that's exactly what it looks like right there, 1 through 5.
Some labels.
That's the cigars. They correspond right here to the side where it gives you 1 through 5 as well. Don't know if you guys can see that because it's white. There, kind of see it.
Focus. Let's get a little. I'm gonna get it closer. Let it focus right there. Of course, it's not gonna focus on the words. You can kind of see a Jalapa binder, Condega, Esteli, Ometepe, and the Dominican.
Mhm.
Why do you not want to focus for me today?
But anyways, so you get that. You bring this out. You get that 5-pack of cigars right there. And then you smoke them. And you can take notes. Oh, we didn't get a sticker. That's the one thing I wish I would have had in here.
What sticker do you want?
A Lucky Cigar Club sticker.
You already get those.
I like stickers.
You want some more stickers?
No, the only thing I wish they would have included in here, and would be my only negative about this, would be some sort of notepad or cigar journal with your first purchase of these, so that you can keep track and write your own notes.
Also, like a little workbook.
Yeah, obviously you could go to the dollar store or Walmart or Target and buy one of those little composition notebooks and keep it as your cigar journal and use this for that. But it would have been nice to see them to add that in there somewhere.
I kind of like getting my own. I think so. I have a lot of notebooks. So more than you should, I think.
Mhm.
And I'd rather have the ones that I like because then same size and all that shenanigans. Yeah, I'm okay without it, but I get what you're saying. I get why you would want that.
Yeah. So again, they're all the same size. They're all the same wrapper, all the same fillers in these. There's just different binders. Again, I think that's a fantastic way for you to kind of teach your palate on what binder tastes like what. You'll get those differences. And when you're smoking the cigar and you're tasting a difference from cigar, let's say 1 to cigar 2, it's because of that binder. Everything else is the exact same. The filler, the wrapper is the exact same. So those differences in flavor that you're getting are all binder related. So that can help you kind of say, okay, well, I'm getting this and that from the Jalapa binder, whereas the Condega binder, I'm getting this instead.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So a great way to really help you refine your palate is this Cigar University. I think it is a great idea. I cannot wait to get into the first one.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Now, how do you want to do it, though? Because I'm thinking of smoking all of them at once, what they're talking about. But it needs something that will clear the palate properly between puffs.
A lot of Perrier.
But I'm thinking something else. I don't know, because I think that's not going to be enough.
Whiskey.
I think that's going to be too much. That's the problem. Looking for that middle of the road balance.
You'll probably be fine with some dark chocolate and washing it down with some Perrier.
I think that's probably gonna be the best choice right there. It's a little bit of dark chocolate, a little bit of Perrier in between, just to kind of get that fresh mouthfeel in between. Again, that's 5 different distinct flavors you're looking for, and they will be. That's the thing. That
is the whole point behind it. So for you guys watching right now, if you guys would please comment whether or not this is something that you guys would be interested in. Again, I think it's a fantastic idea. I cannot wait to get into these. Obviously, the binder is going to be a really good one. I can't wait for them to do the wrapper because, most people agree that you get most of your flavor from the wrapper leaf. And to see 5 cigars with the same binder fillers, just change out those wrappers is going to be a lot of fun. Whether you get a Connecticut, a natural, San Andreas Maduro, Connecticut broadleaf, and a Sumatra. I think those would be 5 interesting ones to do. Or you can even, you would know it, but you can throw a Candela in there or something.
Yeah, that's true. You definitely would notice that one just a little bit. But yeah, I get that. I get and I get why they went with that last. It just makes the most sense to kind of try to point out, hey, check out the binders, check out those fillers first. Then we'll move on to the one that everyone kind of has that ideal. It's, hey, 60% of your flavor comes from that wrapper.
Right.
I hear more than that, so it's like 80%. But
and I don't think it's true it's that high. Obviously the highest percentage of wrapper flavors you're gonna get is when you're smoking those smaller ring gauge cigars like your Lanceros and whatnot, because there's so much wrapper to filler ratio in there. Once you get into those larger ring gauges, it's taking a lot more filler to make sure that cigar is full. So I think you lose a lot of that percentage when you get into those bigger ring gauge. I think once you start getting over like a 54, it really starts to go down.
Significantly dropping, yeah.
But, a lot of people still swear by, that 75% of the flavor comes from the wrapper, which, again, I will agree when it's a smaller ring gauge, 54 and below. Once you start getting over that, 56 to your 70s or your 90s, it's just too much volume to overcome that filler.
No, I get that. It makes sense. But then again, no matter how thin this cigar is, this wrapper leaf is unbelievably thin. If you ever have a little piece come off on you, you know how thin it is, even compared to the binder leaf usually. And so it's got to be put in a lot of work. And then they talk about the combustion, the construction, why certain things are in certain places. It seems to be that top leaf, because that's the first one that's kind of burning towards you. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I can see it being why they consider it so high up there. All I know is that I don't care which leaf is doing the work. I really do like this Rosa Sharon. It is going very well so far. So I'm going to go ahead.
It is a fantastic cigar from Southern Draw. If you guys have not yet tried the Rosa Sharon, I highly recommend you guys get yourself on some.
Are you guys practice? Yeah, we are. Got this guy going side to side right here. I think I have it on the right setting. If I do not, let me know if you guys can hear us or not. What do you call it? You guys practice? Yeah, trying to actually trying to do the one where it's a little bubble to both sides, especially because we're in a quieter area right now. If the TV was going something, it'd probably be that directional just to us.
Mhm.
But I think it's picking us up pretty good for right now.
I hope it is. If not, if you guys can barely hear me and you guys just hear me go really well, let us know in the comments. Obviously, not what you want.
You're Frankie more clearly than me. Okay.
Oh, perfect. That's what you guys wanted in the first place. So obviously, we're doing something right.
I apologize if this makes a big noise for you guys. I'm going to do something real quick.
What'd you do?
There. So I switched it to the other. There's two different bubbles, and there's the circle, which is the one that goes for room noise, basically. There is the directional, which is the one that would go just towards this side. And then there are two that have one's interlapping circles, and then one's right here and right here. So hopefully,
Interesting.
I had it on the interlapping one first, and now I have it on the one that's the two circles next, which I hope that sounds better.
We'll have to wait and see what everybody says in the comments. So let us know if that picks up Miguel a little bit better. If not, we'll put it back. But yeah, I like I said, I'm excited to try these. I think this was a really great idea that Chris and Ben came up with over at Logan Cigar Club. And again, we are big supporters of those guys. So
Absolutely.
anything you do to help them out, I am all on board with.
I'm just trying to put that idea into mind with the cigar I'm smoking right now. Just trying to think of exactly where the flavors are coming from, but I don't know the full blend on this guy at the moment. I should probably just look that up real quick.
You probably should.
I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna take the Rosa Sharon.
Please do. Again, you guys, for those of you that are in town, don't forget tomorrow Cigars and More is going to be releasing the next LCA cigar, which is the Vince from Blackbird Cigar Company. And if you guys haven't had Blackbird before, you guys are missing out. They are fantastic cigars. That's another company I am trying really hard to get into the shop. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I love their marketing. I love their packaging. I love their cigars. So we should be getting them in hopefully within the next couple of months. It's been hard for them to take on new clients because they're a smaller company in the large scheme of things, and products a little hard to get. So once they get some product in, we'll hopefully be bringing in most of their line. I love their 6 cigar sampler. It's basically 2 light, 2 medium, 2 heavy of their cigars.
Oh yeah,
it looks fantastic in the packaging. And even if that's all we were able to get in, I would be so happy because that is a great sampler pack. We got a couple of those at the PCA a couple years back, and I was blown away by how much I like their cigars. So if the Vince is anything like the rest of their line, I think I'm going to dig it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's a lot of people will be happy with that pack. Matt, how you doing, brother? The idea behind it, I really liked because it kind of demonstrated everything they have in their line at the time. And they, of course, expanded since then, but it really does show their core very nicely. And if you're a guy, you want to buy that 6-pack, like maybe you're not that big a fan of really heavy cigars. None of them get too heavy, but if heavier is not your strength, you can give it to a buddy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody can handle those mediums pretty well. And then, yeah, if you're more of the heavy guy, those lighter ones might not be up your alley, but then you have one to give to a buddy right there as well.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you're sitting at.
The Raven, the Crow, the Finch, those are all fantastic. Samuel says he got one from Stogie Bird, and it was amazing.
They are, yeah. There
Leo,
we go.
how you doing? Matt, how you doing? Tim's going to be there tomorrow to pick up his Vince.
Good call.
Call. And again, for you guys that are in town, we are your local LCA supplier. If you guys have your other LCA stores local to where you're at, make sure you get in there early to get your cigars, you guys. Every shop only got 25.
Yeah, it's very limited this time.
It's very limited. The first couple, we got 40. The last one, we got 60. This one, we only got 25. So very limited run on this one. So make sure you're there early to get your allotment. I don't know how other shops do it. I think we're doing a 2 limit per person at Cigars and More because we want to make sure more than one person has a chance to get them.
Yeah, it's true. You got to kind of spread that love around a little bit. Now, I did get the blend on this. It is, I already knew that Equinoria, Connecticut wrapper with Nicaraguan binder and Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. I was expecting that a little bit of spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Connecticut's have just a little bit of spice and a little bit of hay flavor to it. But this one doesn't really have that at all. And I think that because the Nicaraguan kind of overpowers that. I'm looking forward to this course to kind of see where it pinpoints what flavors. And you can do your research too. Like you can look online and they will have, like Cigar Aficionado has a few of them. They have articles dedicated to kind of telling you what's going to flavor give you from what leaf and where it's positioned at.
Right.
But it's so much more interesting and satisfying to get to do it with a cigar.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
the Aganorsa taster with Jeremy was much more enjoyable and memorable than just reading about it. And I really do like this kind of hands-on ideal behind trying these different binders. That's what we're starting with the binder ones. But I do feel like this is that situation where I know I probably won't get through them all completely. 5 cigars all at once is going to be really difficult, but I do want to try them all. Guess congruently? No problem.
I mean, you really technically don't need to get through the entire cigar to get the flavor differences between them. I think if you at least get through halfway, you'll be able to get the point of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm hoping at least, because I don't want to have to smoke 5 cigars all at once. I think I would need a little more than water and a little bit dark chocolate for that.
Matt wants to know what the ring gauge on this cigar is. I think it's like right at a 58. I don't think it's quite a 60. It doesn't feel like a nub, so I don't think it's right at a 60, but I think it's a 58. It is a larger ring gauge. I like to stick to 52 to 54.
Seeing the 7x70s and stuff, the 6x60 just doesn't look big anymore.
Who was it? Asylum is coming out with a 9x90.
Yeah, they got that. They have their 6x80, I think, and the 7x70 and the 7x60. There's some huge ones out there. It's not really my thing. Above a 56, it kind of gets too big for me. I'd rather have a smaller ring gauge cigar. Just what I prefer. Like 52 to 48 to 52, should probably do that, is really nice. I think that's really great. And then you get small with the Petite Coronas and the Lanceros, and those are awesome as well. But that 48 to 52 is usually where I'm sitting at, and I'm very pleased with. The new jalapeno that we got in from Viaje Cigars sits in that, and it has that tapered effect. So it's a little bit thicker down to, I want to say it's a 46 it goes down to. And then the same company, the Zombie Antidote, is sitting at a very small ring gauge. I want to say that one's a 46 as well, if not a little bit smaller, like a 44.
It's a thin ring gauge.
It's a very thin ring gauge, but a very flavorful cigar. And it kind of just goes to show that point where you don't need a bunch of tobacco to make a lot of flavor. That wrapper's doing a lot of work in that case, especially for that cigar. And in this case with this box press, it's another thing that I've been wanting to try out more, because we've done that before, a box press versus a non-box press. I don't know what else to describe it as, how that affects the flavor. It's the exact same blend, or as close to the exact same, because it does change a little bit going box press, what that does to the flavors you're going to get. Same with the cuts. Our buddy here, Jeremy, different Jeremy, not the Jeremy we've been talking about, Jeremy from Culebras, talked about how the punch, the straight cut, and the V are going to give you different flavors because of the surface area you're getting for the smoke. Now, I like the V cut a lot. I like this V cut a lot.
Me too.
Because it's just really nice. It smokes very nicely. I usually don't get any unwrapping, or I'll just do my little tear cut. But today I was messing around with one of the Cigars and More lighter and punch combo. There's that little punch at the bottom. And I just wanted to try it out. And it was smoking very nicely. So I've never been a big punch guy. Like I don't use them very often, but it's still a viable option. And which one did I? What did I have to? I had the Tatuaje. Tatuaje was my first time having that. So I think the next time we do a live, I'm gonna have to get a punch, the straight cut, and the V cut, and do them all on the same cigar. Even like you can punch it, then you can straight cut across. Just get a little thin piece off, and then you do the V cut through it, because that won't mess up if I already have a straight cut. That's gonna be just fine.
Right.
I've done it before with my little tear. If I tear it and then it doesn't have enough of an airflow just because I might have messed up myself, you can still V cut it. It's gonna be fine.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how much different the flavor profile will be versus each cut. But I'm wondering what cigar to use for that.
Now Matt is saying that he's currently smoking the Aganorsa Leaf Rare Leaf Reserve.
Very nice.
Paul says 54 then 52 for him just feels right in the hand. And Sam says he prefers full bodied with the larger engage, but I do occasionally like medium to mild cigars. LFD still kicks me around sometimes.
Yeah, they got some heavy stuff, some good stuff though.
And Matt loves box press for some reason. I wasn't a fan at first, but now he prefers them more.
I can see what you're saying. Like this is a semi box press that's not really sharp to the edges. And there's some that are like basically rectangular square or square and rectangular shape coming right at you. And I don't mind those either. It keeps it from rolling off the side, because once in a while we don't have a full on ashtray that I like to use wherever we might be. Or if I'm working outside, I don't have an ashtray at all sometimes. I just kind of tap it on the floor and kind of mush it around my foot.
Mush,
I don't
mush,
know,
mush.
I know I shouldn't, but I still do. And I leave it on the side of the table. And if it's a completely cylindrical cigar, it's gonna roll on me most of the time. These box presses, I have no problem. Now I'm just waiting for the triangle cigars.
I will say I am not a huge fan of the punch. For me, the most time I've ever gotten that tar buildup on a cigar has been because of a punch.
Makes
It's a
sense.
smaller opening for the smoke to come through, and it kind of pushes that tar out through the back, in my opinion, as
Yeah.
opposed to a V cut or a traditional straight cut. I don't really use punches all that often. That's just me personally.
Yeah, there's enough surface area there. You're not really going to get that tar buildup. I
But-
get that. Yeah.
That being said, you actually need to do it with 4 cigars because you need to try out the select draw again.
I'm going to use this. Well, I have to use at least 2 different cigars. I was going to do the same cigar and cut it each time.
Oh no, you have to do 4 different cigars or 4 cigars that are the same, but get 4 of them.
Well, then I have to do 5. I have to use the Shurkin.
I don't think you have to, I think that falls in line with the select draw. If you want to do 5, one should be your tear version as well.
I'll do 6 then, because I think the Selectra and the Shurkin are way different. You're getting very thin cuts into it versus that nice, deep, and pretty decent sized hole you're getting from the Selectra. But I feel like that one's better for the bigger ring gauge cigars.
I just need to get the practice with it more.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, yeah, a little practice never hurt nobody. That's the same way the punch is.
Mhm.
It wasn't doing super well for me the first few times I was cracking cigars.
Yeah.
Not enjoying life at that moment. But yeah, couple times later, it's like no big deal. So maybe the same will go for the Selectra. Hopefully the same for the Shurkin, because that's been my bottom of the barrel as far as
Absolutely.
cuts. Honestly, I've used it maybe once or twice.
I've used it a couple of times. That's it.
Because we have one here floating around here somewhere, and that's the tar buildup for me. Punch is nowhere near as bad as Shurkins for me. But if you like that, I mean, go for it. It still gets a good surface area to it. And then we'll go 7 cigars in that, and we'll use a cigar pump. And not even cut the cigar. Just put the pump in, a couple of puffs or a couple of pumps. Boom.
Clear
Clear
says
path.
he's smoking the part of his box press, and it's smoking really good. Fantastic.
That's what I like here, and I like that.
And the Matt says he seems to get a better flavor from the box press.
See, that's what I'm wondering, if there is a big difference. I got to find a couple of cigars that have that box press versus the non-box presses. That's close to the same blend as they can be for themselves, because they will try to get that same blend ratio. I guess I don't know many cigars have a box press and then a similar size and not box press. You know, it's usually like, oh, the Toro might be a little box press, or the Robusto's not, or vice versa or something. They're not the same length and ring gauge.
Now, I will say we did get sent some cigars that were the same in box press and traditional shaped cigars. I didn't get too much of a flavor difference.
Yeah, we've done it before. I think we got to retouch it though.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
gotta go back
I've
to
gotten
it.
some different burn issues depending on box press and non-box press, but that was pretty much the biggest difference. I really didn't get anything different in flavor. I cut them both the same.
Yeah,
I smoked them both basically the same speed. So yeah, I really couldn't say one way or the other, which I thought smoked better. I think when it comes down to it, if you have a cigar that's similar shape or similar size rather in box press versus traditional, I think it'll probably go with what feels better in the hand. You know, some people like the shape of that box press. Some people like the cylindrical shape of a traditional cigar. So when they're that close and there really is no difference, it's just going to come down to preference on hand feel.
that makes sense to me. I do agree with that. And then I do enjoy a V-cut for anything 50 or above. Yeah, I agree with that. I still can't do the crown cut, by the way. It looks terrible every time I do it. It's like, oh, it's going to be a cool picture after. Nope, not for me. And then Matt says he's never had a tar buildup issue on any cigar.
So this is
I
awesome.
have. It's bad. It's bad. I think the worst one I've had, and not saying it's bad for the cigar because I still love it and I don't care that it happens, is the Kentucky Fire Cures. Those build up tar on me pretty much every time, and I don't care. I just wipe it away. You see streaks of like brown on my hand, and I'm just doing that. And like, oh my god, what's going on my lip? I could feel the buildup of all those oils, and it might be the oil buildup too, but there's still tar
Could be.
there, and I don't care because I love those cigars.
See, now I have to disagree with Sam on this one. He says he's not a fan of torpedoes because he doesn't know how to cut them, and I mess them up every time. I will take a V cut to it, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people say you could cut them with a straight cut at a diagonal, not too dramatic of a diagonal, but a little bit of a diagonal. but I don't mind using a V cut on those. I actually like a torpedo shape to a cigar.
Yeah.
You know, the Figurado kind of has that torpedo shape to it. And the Andalusian Bull kind of has it for it, and I really like that that shape. I'm a fan. I like it.
Oof, no, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see that pretty decently on camera there. Pretty big rays right there. The band just had a little too much glue right there. Dang it. Oh well, it's still smoking well.
And Brian is lining up an Enclave AJ Fernandez Habano Toro using that X cut.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, I get what you're saying with that V cut on a torpedo. I think it looks pretty cool. It smokes pretty well every time, but I think it's a little bit of an angle with that cut. It'll be fine. I've even used a perfect cutter for a torpedo cigar. You just kind of
Snip away.
Yeah,
like a bonsai tree.
basically, yeah, just little by little, you'll be fine. I know some guys don't want to take the time to do that. It's the only time that I'm going to cut it that many times.
Now, if you're doing that to where you're cutting it several times, make sure you're using your own cutter, not the shop cutter. It's really bad form to cut your cigar. Put it in your mouth. Get your DNA all over it. Say, oh, the draw's not good. Then go back to that house cutter and do it again.
Yeah, it's probably not the
because
best.
whatever you have in your mouth is going to get onto the next person's cigar, and that's just not good. So if you need to cut your cigar more than once, make sure you're using your own cutter, or at least somebody's cutter that you're okay with and that they know what's going on. You know, Miguel does it. I'm all right with that. He's my brother. No big deal.
I don't do that.
I'm just saying if you did it, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I mean, if I'm in a lounge somewhere and, you know, someone's like, oh man, can I borrow your cutter? I was like, yeah, sure, bro. Here you go. And then they do that thing and then they lick the whole thing and then they go, oh, I need to borrow it again. And they're like, no.
It's like,
No, not to be rude, but no.
I need to use it again. Sorry, I'm still using mine. I gotta
Either that or this is yours now.
Oh man. Yeah, I can see that being an issue sometimes. It's thankfully not very often.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Hey Thomas, how you doing? How's it going? No worries.
With that
You're right
being
on time.
said, though, what are some other cigar lounge poor etiquette things that you guys can think of? Think about that next time you kiss your significant other or has that. Thanks, Paul. Thanks. What are some other things that, you know, irritate you guys in a cigar lounge? I know perspectives can be different from employees to patrons. JJ talked about this last Friday on his show about people that will come in with their own cigars and want to be able to sit down and smoke for free.
I don't like it.
That for me, I know for a lot of people that sounds like, well, yeah, they just want somewhere to smoke. I get that. Especially places where it gets really hot or really cold outside, you want somewhere to go to smoke.
Don't care.
But if you go into a cigar lounge, let's say we're at Culebra's Lounge, you just walk in, sit down, light up a cigar. That's bad for a couple of reasons. One, if you're not paying anything, you're not helping to keep the lights on. And two, if you're there and not purchasing anything to help support that shop, you're taking a seat away from a paying customer.
Yep.
No, I get everybody wants to have somewhere they can go to smoke, but at the very least, you know, buy one cigar from that shop. You know, say, hey, you guys, I got this. I'm going to sit down, but I kind of want to smoke this. Throw yours in your humidor. They shouldn't have an issue with it, but you know, you always want to make sure you're respectful of them and their rules.
Thomas, I like where you had that. Bring one, buy two. You know,
yeah, that's fantastic. I love that idea. You know, when we went on the Lord Puffers, you know, a couple people wanted to use their private lounge and they had a cutting fee for that. I was fine with that.
That works for me.
No big deal when it comes to that. Just most about being respectful. If everybody just went in there, brought their own cigars, didn't buy anything, that place wouldn't stay in business. You know, they have to pay for the lights, they have to pay for the AC, they have to pay, you know, for the merchandise, employees. I have no problem with the cutting fee.
No,
but I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on what you guys think.
No, and I have no problem with the cutting fee either. Monte Cristo has it, and then I think it's like $10 there.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look at the price of the cigars, they're a little higher. They're Vegas prices.
Prices.
Honestly, either way, you're going to be fine. I mean, if you buy a cigar from them, they got a great selection. They're very well kept. That humidor is wonderful. The guys there, they know what they're doing, so they'll lead you in the right direction. Especially if you pair it with one of their, cocktails they make there.
Oh, gosh,
so yeah, they do a great job. Talked about them, they do a great job, and I don't mind paying that cutting fee if I have a cigar that I really want, because as well as the humidor is kept, it is not the biggest one out there, so there might be something that they don't carry that you might really want. Bring it with you.
Mhm.
Pay the cutting fee. Not a big deal.
Yeah, Paul makes a good point. And make sure they're not out of the dollar bin. Most of the must be equal or greater value. That's why I have no problem here in California, anyways, with the $10 cutting fee. You know, $10 is a decently priced cigar here in California. It might be, you know, $7 or $8 where you're at.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with the simple $10 cutting fee. You bring what you want. In the same way, we have a couple lounges that I know of that have lockers. Some of them say, you know, you can only put cigars you buy from that lounge in that locker. I have an issue with that because some people don't keep humidors at home. They may keep a small travel case and they want to keep all their humidor stuff at their locker.
Yeah.
So if they happen to buy something, I have no problem with them putting it in their locker and smoking it. Reason being is they're paying for that locker. They are already helping keep the lights on. So if they want to put something in their locker, go for it.
I thought this is the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to keep bringing stuff with you, or you don't have to take it around everywhere. You purchased it there, you know, smoke it there. That's where it's supposed to be smoked.
Yeah, Samuel,
That's a weird
I
one,
have
yeah.
had the exact same thing happen to me. We do a lot of the beer fest out here, and people get super drunk, and they want to come buy cigars, which I'm fine with. One guy came up to me super drunk, and I mean, it was maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, and he says, "Hey, man, let me try your cigar." And I'm like, I can't do that, man. That's not how cigars work.
Not the business.
Of course, not 20 minutes later, one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen said, "Oh, man, those smell really good. Do they taste good? Here, try it."
Yep.
I was fine with that.
Then we're okay. I like that rule too. Yeah, the 2 lounges, private one, and then a public. We have to buy $15 worth. That's no problem.
That seems fair.
Because you get your value for the cigars themselves. You get your time there. If you're at where would it be? Vision inside Caesar's Palace, and then there is the Helix, the Double Helix Whiskey and Wine Lounge, also in Vegas. That is not. It's by the airport. It's close to the airport.
The one where you had a nice looking drink and I wasn't there.
Yeah, I just found it randomly. I got to go to the movies for the first time in over a year. It was crazy. Great experience for a crappy other situation. Yeah, that was a lifesaver right there. But I go over like, well, I'll get a drink and sit here and just wait it out. And I look in and there's a humidor. And I'm like, oh my goodness, can we smoke here? Like, yeah, go ahead. It's like, oh, do I have to buy a cigar? I kind of have my own, or is there a cutting fee? No, just go ahead. I paid $12 a drink, something like that, you know, kind of standard for a lounge for a whiskey bar. And that's no different than paying a cutting fee. I think you're getting your value, and you're also not, you know, taking up spot for no reason. You know, tip your waitress, do whatever you got to do. And usually there's no tipping at a cigar lounge itself. I'm never asked for one. There's not someone like bringing you a check to your seat.
Right.
You know, maybe at the counter you put a couple bucks in the little tip jar or something. But even then, it's still cheaper to just pay the cutting fee than even going to a bar or a lounge like that, because Vision is a good spot, but the drinks are expensive.
It is, but it is a great spot
Yeah.
for people watch, man. You get to see the whole casino. I think I got to repost a picture on the new Instagram, but yeah, it is a beautiful spot. All they ask is that if you're going to smoke cigars, you sit on the outer rim of the club.
Yeah,
And that I had no problem with that, you know, no problem at all.
what I prefer, anyways. Because like you said,
absolutely.
there's big open windows. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, Matt, exactly. You know, running a brick and mortar isn't free. You know, they have stuff they need to pay for to keep those lights on, keep the doors open. And by sitting in his chair, not paying anything, that's taken away from someone that might have. What if the beautiful woman was with the drunk man first? Well, I didn't think about that, Leo, and now you've ruined my great story. Thank you very much.
Well, she was the same person, actually. Frankie just also was drunk. It was 11:30 drunk for the guy. Frankie's drunk at 11:45. No, there's so much drinking happening at those places, and they open much earlier than I thought a beer fest would. I figured like 2:00, you know, everything gets going, but it gets hot here in Bakersfield, so they want to beat that heat sometimes.
Well, not only that, what I didn't know and I thought was really cool is if you're a vendor at this event, or if you're attending the event, if you were a vendor at the event, you actually got a campsite free for the weekend because it was a Saturday event. You can come on Friday, stay Friday night, do the event Saturday, stay Saturday night, and then leave on Sunday. So basically, they brought extra stuff for Friday night, got drunk. Whatever they did not sell or give away Saturday, they drank Saturday night. So they were really drinking all weekend long, which I thought was awesome. I did not know that. Had I had known that, I would have got us a camping site as well.
Cleared the space.
Yeah.
Cleared the time. Yeah, it's those beer fests get pretty weird. They get some good stories there. I like that. It's always 5 o'clock. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I like where your head's at.
We should make a calendar, or not a calendar, a clock. It shows 5 p.m. in California,
Where it is.
and the next one where it should be 5 p.m. wherever that would be, and this all of them are 5 p.m.
till it goes around. Yeah,
That
be a
would,
good
that
shirt.
would be a fun clock right there.
Yeah, that'd be a
That
good
way, it
t-shirt.
is always 5 o'clock somewhere.
I like it. I like where your head's at. And yeah, and a lot of drinking there.
Yeah.
But yeah, because the one I went to was here in town. And we told the story a million times, but I love it. They gave amazing glass, not
Yes.
like the serving little tiny cups with their logo on it. They did the engraved glass, collectible glasses for the event. Everyone who came in, but as people were leaving, 12:30, shatter, all over the parking lot. I'm sure it was just covered in glass. Oh man! And then after that, the next event I believe was all the
Plastic cups.
thick plastic, but with their logo. So they looked nice, but they knew maybe not glass next time.
Yeah. Worst was the guy that came in, sneezed over the cigars, and wiped them off and pretended nothing happened.
No,
That's bad.
Oh no!
I honestly would have no problem with the owner kicking that person out if they did that. You know, if they did not profusely apologize and pay for those cigars, I would have no problem with somebody being kicked out for that. That is disgusting.
Oh my gosh! Or if you don't nose the cigar if you're not gonna buy it. Like there's some guys that are like right up there. You don't put it in your nose, all right? Just oh god.
I think one nostril's okay.
No nostrils.
One
I'm giving it 0 nostrils.
Although I do see a lot of people smelling it through the cello, and it doesn't really work.
it's not. I'm not gonna give you a whole lot of.
So, yeah,
more
definitely.
knowledge. That one's not so great. Which lounge has the guy that sits behind you? Guys, I want one of them. from Man Cave.
He's standing right over there. Actually, Mitch found that somewhere. He was on one of his adventures, and Mitch ended up finding it and bring it over to the lounge. So that's how he ended up here. That's our little Carlito lookalike.
Yeah, it's I forget his name. We did name him, and I forget what his name is, but he's a nice little guy right there. He hangs out.
I will be right back, you guys. I gotta hit the head.
Do what you got to do. All right, let me see this. The shop I saw this happen at closed a year later, so not surprised. Yeah, that's oh man, I would not be happy to see that. That would drive me absolutely nuts. Oh gosh, I'm not a big sneezing and stuff. It just I can't deal with that. There's a lot of gross stuff I can live with. That's not one of them. Now, there's a lot of these etiquette things that we're talking about, and luckily, I don't see them very often, which is a good thing. It's just not a normal practice. It's these rare incidences. I'm sure that Sam, you haven't seen that a bunch of places. I have not. Thankfully, I have not. And then like the cutting fee and stuff, that's usually not an issue because most guys are like, all right, I'm gonna buy a cigar and hang out for a little bit. Just same way you'd go to a bar, you're not gonna bring your own beers. You know, it's just is what it is, kind of thing. So it's a good thing to know that, or a good thing to mention, excuse me, that these cases are the exception to the rule. They aren't the rule themselves. You know, these are isolated situations. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. Only seen it once. Thanks. Yeah, that's gonna stick with you. And Brian smoking that number 3 from the March cigar pack. There we go. From the Connoisseur Club. There we go. I like that.
All right, I feel better.
Absolutely. It doesn't happen at the house. I'm smoking that tonight. Good call. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, those things don't. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the cutting fee when you're at home. You don't have to worry about cutting fee here because you're a member anyway.
Yep.
And if anyone wants to check it out, you always come hang out with us the first time.
Yeah, this place is fantastic,
Yeah.
especially here in Bakersfield where it gets super, super hot in the summer. You throw that AC on, this building feels fantastic. We've got the Apple TV, we've got the pool table, the dartboard, we got the members' lockers, plenty of seating, the kitchenette, snacks, liquor cabinet. It's great. You pay one fee a month for membership dues, and it is fantastic. I mean, The last event we had, which was the one that Miguel, Randy, and myself threw, with Jeremy pitching in as well.
No, that's awesome.
You actually got more cigars valued more than what your dues were. So
Yeah,
by going to
yeah.
that one event, you actually made money off of it.
Yeah, you're going to get quite a bit back every time you come here. So it is what it is kind of thing. And I love that. It's a great spot to be at, great people. 24-hour access never hurts.
That is one of the biggest things. Again, being out here where it's even hot, at 10, 11 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock in the morning during the summer where it is already 90
Oh,
plus,
I hate that.
being able to come here and just throw the AC on, throw something on the TV and just relax. It was awesome. I mean, we sat here the other night, like at 2 in.the morning and watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and
Yeah. It was
smoked
actually
cigars.
pretty
And
dang
I
good.
loved it.
I love horror stuff. And the area itself, if you don't know it, a little spooky outside.
It could be.
Yeah, could be. It's a good. And that was actually a pretty good movie. It's it's an old book. Like,
Very.
gosh dang, yeah, I don't even know when it came out.
At least 2000.
But they did a good job telling those stories. I liked it.
But you guys, I think that'll do it for us today. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. Don't forget Saturday, you guys, we are going to talk more about the results for our March Cigar Madness tournament. Again, thank you to everybody that made their voices known and helped the Liga Privada T52 from Drew Estates win our inaugural championship. We'll see if next year they can defend their title. And the Cigar 64, I think, is what we're going to rename it.
Yep. It's gonna be, yep.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. And then, of course, we'll do talking about doing some smaller brackets or some different things.
Yeah. Try it out.
And see what we can do. But don't forget, you guys, check out the Cigar University from Luxury Cigar Club. This is a fantastic idea. The first one is the binder. You get 5 identical cigars as far as wrapper and filler goes. You just get 5 different binders: Jalapa, Condega, Esteli, Ometepe, and Dominican. And it is awesome.
Picture of oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you a picture of the guy. Yeah, he's right here, so I'll send you one. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. See you soon.